Let me tell you something, my gorgeous Virgo. Let me tell you something very, very important here. Within the first 11 days of April, you are going to see something. You are going to come across something. What are you going to see and what are you going to come across? It's literally going to change every single aspect of your life. I'm talking about something absolutely remarkable, and that in itself, it's also going to become probably one of the most beautiful experiences of your lives. Why? It's not only about inspiration, it's not only about feeling something so deep within your soul, within your spirit, but at the same time, it's about the confidence in order to kind of wake up right now. Wake up, my gorgeous Virgolini. It's about an important step that you wanted to make for quite a while now. And I know that you have been working on something really important, but certain things have unfortunately been kind of slowed down. And this in itself affected you in such a way when it comes to you carrying on with specific plans. This in itself is going to refresh you. It's going to remind you to carry on with a very, very specific plan that was left behind. And this experience is going to rejuvenate you. This experience is going to refresh you. This experience is going to reawaken you. This experience is going to remind you of exactly who you are and what your job on this earth is, especially when it comes to your soul purpose and especially when it comes to your life purpose. You can be running away from it as much as you want, as much as you can, but it's always going to catch up with you. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're running from your life purpose, but I'm just saying that sometimes, there's certain problems that become rather complex in our lives. And when we leave these certain problems on the side for a while, then they become too complex. And when they become too complex, we don't even like to think about it, let alone to just kind of unpack it and dissect it, basically, and do something about it. This is what we would need to do normally straight away. But now this in itself, it's really going to remind you of exactly who you are, and it's also going to remind you your own power. Just remember, my gorgeous Virgolini, this is going to happen within the first 11 days of April. A remarkable, mind-blowing experience which is going to open your eyes. This is going to be such an enlightening point in your life. You will see exactly what I mean. You're going to understand how special you are, how powerful you are, how different you are, but you're also going to fully understand an importance of the necessary step that you need to make, and you have been keep on putting this aside. I'm not having a go at you whatsoever, no baby, no, but this is only kind of a reminder that you really need to carry on with an important plan, and that in itself is going to be absolutely obvious, like there is no tomorrow, right at the beginning of April. What I also need you to understand that when it comes to the 14th and the 15th of April, you are going to become aware of the certain events that are going to require immediate action. And these events are going to scare you a little bit because you're going to think that you're not prepared for this, that you're not prepared for something, but you are. You are prepared. How you're going to know that you are prepared? Just by being optimistic and just by basically tapping into it. Tap into this energy immediately. It doesn't matter whether you feel prepared or whether you feel unprepared, because as soon as you step towards it, as soon as you're optimistic about it, as soon as you're positive about it, something is going to change within you, and you are at that moment in time going to tap into an untapped potential, which is like so important at this stage of your spiritual journey, because that untapped potential, it's also going to be the part of the brand new direction in life. But at the same time, this untapped potential, it's also going to revive you and remind you, how much did you actually learn, you know, within the last 2 or 3 years. There is something absolutely mind-blowing that you have learned, my gorgeous Virgolini, especially when it comes to there's something mind-blowing that you learned, you know, and what you've actually learned, it's really a lot to do pretty much so with some kind of a skill, something that you're really good at, something that you're really great at, but you have overlooked it at the time. At this moment in time, you're going to be reminded of that, and that in itself, it's really going to be so important, especially when you find yourself, you know, on the crossroads within the last 7 days of April. You are going to find yourself on the actual crossroads, one of the biggest crossroads of your life, and for some reason this in itself is going to change your mind, and this what was happening right now, it's also going to make you to kind of go for the choice and go for the path that you wouldn't even think that you would go for it like whatsoever. And that's an absolutely tremendous change that this is actually going to bring into your life. You're kind of redirecting yourself, but then at the same time you're coming back home to yourself. You're coming back home to your spirit, to your soul, to your own strength, my gorgeous Virgolini, where you are most certainly the most powerful. I really like this so much. When it comes to the actual numerology, listen to me very carefully. When it comes to the actual numerology, your number is 1709. 1709, it is your number, and that means that you are also going to have like a pretty much so you know, it's like a pretty much so to do with the actual sign that you are going to have. The sign that you are going to have this month, it's really gonna be absolutely more obvious than ever, and that particular sign that you are going to have precisely at around the 20th of April, it's going to happen when you are talking to somebody really close to you, somebody really important to you. There is some kind of conversation that you're gonna have that this is going to be absolutely out of this world. You're gonna be talking about something weird, you're gonna be talking about something unusual, you're gonna be talking about something really bizarre, a little bit dark, very dark subject is going to be happening here. But then this dark subject that you're gonna be talking about, it's nothing to do with your life, or it's nothing to do with the life of that particular person, but you're gonna be talking about something else. So it is gonna be kind of a little bit darker, a little bit dark like kind of conversation, but then at the same time you are going to be enjoying this for some reason, because you know, you are going to really enjoy somebody kind of agreeing with you on a specific subject. Okay, so this is going to mean to you so much. But going back, when I said that you're going to speak to somebody so kind of like close to you, at around that moment in time, there is going to be a very interesting and unusual sign that you are actually going to have. And that unusual sign that you are going to have after that particular conversation, when you have with somebody so close to you, that particular sign that you are going to have, it's like basically kind of gonna be completely connected to some kind of like opportunities and bright prospects. You're gonna understand that very important opportunities are coming slowly but surely into your life, my gorgeous Virgolini, as soon as you become aware of this particular sign. And this, like in itself, it's going to bring so much like kind of security in your life. At around that particular time, when you see that sign, you are gonna have somebody on your mind who's like keep on motivate you. This specific person was keep on motivating you for a while, and then you're gonna remember that that particular person who was keep on motivating you for a while, like last time when you kind of spoke, or last time when you were listening to that person, what you understand was something was highlighted about, again, your skill, something that you know how to do really well, but you need to work out what this is, because now you need to take this on the next stage, on the next level of your life. And this is in itself pretty much so connected to this opportunity and bright prospects. So you are keeping a very interesting and sacred part of yourself still intact, and now it's time for you to release this to the world and show what you can do, my gorgeous Virgolini. This is so important. And let me tell you that your energy is going to be ridiculously powerful throughout the month of April. I really like this so much, because from the beginning of this month, you are going to feel the vibration and energy that is going to elevate you, in terms of you like kind of feeling optimistic, in terms of you like kind of like a feeling like you are ready to do things, and you're going to enjoy this quite a lot. And you know, something very, very bad that you've been worrying about, my gorgeous Virgolini, for so long, something really negative and bad that you've been worried about, and it's a little bit to do with a broken heart as well. Something broke your heart, and this doesn't have to be necessarily to do with love and things like that, but something broke your heart really badly, that put you in such a stage of your life where you were worrying, because that made you not achieve something that you wanted to achieve. That made you like not to do something, to avoid doing something that you really love doing, and that kind of affected you, of course. So now, very important message, very good message you're going to have also about something that you've been worrying about so much. It really broke your heart, and this is to do with an element in the part of your life that, you know, you need to work on a little bit more on that part of your life. There is some kind of learning experience, something more that you need to learn in terms of you kind of going forward with this. You're going to need to kind of learn more and reflect on that, like what you need to kind of find out a little bit more in order to kind of advance yourself. So this is going to mean to you so much, but also at the same time, it's literally going to give you a huge reason for celebration, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. So this is brilliant. I really kind of highly suggest you to like kind of be like to understand this, that, you know, you are, by the end of the month of April, you are going to give a birth to some kind of project here, to some kind of a beginning. And this in itself, you will absolutely know what am I talking about, because within the last 2 days of April, you know, the news that you're gonna have, it's really gonna be mind-blowing. One of the best news that you've had in your entire life, because it's about you like kind of working on something and trying to achieve something and expecting to achieve this, but there is something gonna be so unexpected about it in terms of a success. This is going to be much bigger and much better, and that in itself is going to make you aware of the fact that exactly what do you need to do in order to transform your life and in order to bring an ultimate change into your life, my gorgeous Virgolini. You will know exactly what do you need to do within the last 2 days of April, but also you need to understand that there is some kind of journey and some kind of trip that you're actually going to need to make. To make this journey and to make this trip is ever so important, because there is some kind of spiritual experience that you are going to have once you do this. You know, I hope this is not too confusing. The part of all this is for you to go on some kind of trip or some kind of journey that you're going to become aware of, like within the last few days in April. Now, it's so important for you to understand that it doesn't matter if you go on that trip or on that journey within the last few days of April. It doesn't matter at all. But what it actually matters is, as long as you are positive towards this, as long as you are open-minded towards this trip and journey, as long as you're open-minded towards it, you're going to be fine. If you close your mind, no baby, no, you need to do this. I know it sounds crazy, it sounds weird, but you need to go on this trip or journey. So it can happen literally within the last few days of April, but you could decide that you're going to go on that trip or journey within the last few days of April, but then you go in a few months, or you go like in 5 or 6 months, or you go months after that, or you go 2 weeks after that. It doesn't matter, because the energy of you like kind of connecting to this, it's going to happen within the last few days of April, which means that whenever you decide to go, you are really going to have a mind-blowing spiritual experience where you're gonna understand so much about yourself, so much about your lives, but you're also gonna get so many ideas that are gonna be, oh my God, the big beginning of probably the biggest comebacks of my gorgeous Virgolini you've ever had in your entire life. And you know, when it comes to like people in your life, you know, you will realize how much do you mean to those people in your life when it comes to the month of April. And I really like this because this is going to mean to you so much. There is somebody who is going to reach through. There is somebody who's going to reach forward, whether this is like your family member or this is like a greatest friend. You know, someone is really kind of gonna be so honest with you what an important and major role in their life you're actually playing. And this is gonna happen at the time when you're feeling like a little bit low, when you're feeling like a little bit negative. So this is gonna kind of really gonna happen to you. It couldn't have happened to you at a better time, but also it's really gonna you know, reflect on your emotions, and through that situation you're going to find out through that particular person something about some other person that you've been worried about so much. Maybe somebody whom you don't have such a like powerful connection with, or someone who you kind of like fallen out with, but you still want to know how they are doing because they are playing a specific role in your life still, although if you're not that close anymore. For example, what that person who really loves you so much, who are going to tell you what do you mean, how much do you mean to them, what they're going to tell you about that other person, it's really going to surprise you, but at the same time it's going to give you a very interesting idea on one hand, but then on another hand you're not going to worry about something that you were worrying about that specific person. I know that this may sound like a little bit confusing, but I think that you will know exactly what am I talking about by the end of this particular month, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. And let me tell you something which is the biggest so far. I want you to understand that by the time the month of April comes to an end, I will tell you something. By the time the month of April comes to an end, you are going to make like such a powerful decision. You are going to make a decision, and that particular decision that you are going to make, it's going to be probably one of the biggest decisions of your life. And that in itself, it's also going to involve like absolutely massive changes. Do you know what? You're actually absolutely ready for it, my gorgeous Virgolini. And it's something that you should do because this in itself is going to lead towards such an enormous accomplishment, but it's also going to lead towards you moving on and moving away from things that have been making you feel unhappy for way too long. The month of April, it's going to be the month where also your power is about to return. You're going to realize how much more you're dreaming from the beginning of this month. It's like, oh my God, you're going to realize how much you want to like kind of like do spiritual things from the beginning of this month. You're also going to realize how much your intuition is like kind of, oh my God, your intuition is just so much more powerful. You understand so much more. And pay attention to the actual signs that you are going to have. You know, the sign that you are going to have on the 9th and the 10th of April are also going to make you aware of somebody in your life, like a really great friend or somebody who means to you so much. It's like really needs your help. This friend needs your help. It's either a friend or it's either a family member. But if it's like a friend, it's like a very close, a very ridiculously close friend, like a family member. But you will see on the 9th and the 10th of April that somebody's needing your help because somebody's like going down. Somebody's like going through something very difficult. This particular person, somebody messed up this person big time. Somebody messed up this person big time. Maybe that person went out with someone for a while who is absolutely as awful as anything. And I think it's to do with a specific person being in that particular person's life who has done something to that person in your life. I'm being confusing, isn't it? Oh my God, sorry. So it's to do with your great, probably one of the best friends ever, or it's to do with like a family member who you love so much. Okay? You will know who this is on the 10th and the 9th and the 10th of April 2023, because you will hear something odd about them. They will do something completely out of character. They will go somewhere and they will do something completely weird and out of character. And you're going to be like, I can't believe you've done that. I can't believe, honestly, I'm so surprised. You know, I cannot believe you've done this. It's so weird. It's not you. And this is your sign that that person is having a very difficult time, because somebody in their life, like a partner or somebody, has done something terrible to them, and some that they're struggling because, you know, they're struggling because one particular person has got a terrible influence and impact on that particular person in your life, and they went towards darkness, towards a very dark stage in your life, and they're doing really dark things, like you know, like maybe, you know, like things people get addicted to, you know what I mean, and things like that, like a dark things, you know, things that people get addicted to, like or whatever it is. But that person is like kind of so lost in this, and you know, because you have such a strong connection to that person, you need to help this person out immediately. And don't have a go at me like, oh, this is my reading, why do I need to help to that some person, like somebody, blah blah blah. Listen to me very carefully. I'm talking about like a prominent person in your life. A prominent, like somebody who's like so strong normally, like so powerful, so grounded, and you're going to be absolutely blown away. Wow, I can't believe that, you know, you allowed someone to do this to you, you know, type of thing. But people do very strange things when they fell in love, and people do very strange things, you know, when they're surrounded by this type of people, especially when people do very strange things sometimes when they fell in love anyway. But when they fell in love with the wrong person, like this one, you know, it's just almost like someone demonic is around that person, that, you know, and you are the only one who can help this person, because you have a beautiful influence and impact, you know, so on this person. So all you need to do is just talk to them and just kind of try to explain to them. You know, you're brilliant when it comes to explaining, my gorgeous Virgolini, you know, because people like to listen to you, people can connect to you, you know, and this is an important trail, you know what I mean, trait, you know what I mean. So it's like basically just try to talk to this person and try to kind of like explain to them how much they may be changed, and once you start talking, you're gonna recognize so many little signs about that person that will be telling you that something is really terribly wrong, and this person is right in the middle of like saving themselves and rescuing themselves through you, and in the middle of like, you know what I mean, like a huge distraction. So, you know, please just try to kind of step forward. This is so important indeed. And also, my gorgeous Virgolini, when it comes to the actual nutrition and when it comes to health, again, I offer you, like, you know, very much so the same thing. Very important to keep on taking natural vitamin D3, which is of course going to boost your immune system, and it's going to be really beneficial for your sensitive bones, in combination with natural zinc picolinate, which is a highly absorbable version of zinc, and it works perfectly in combination with vitamin D3 when it comes to boosting immune system, and also it's brilliant for skin, hair and nails. And the third thing that I want to recommend to you would be organic chlorella. Why? It's a superb, a very powerful, mind-blowing supplement, which is extremely healthy for us because it provides us with protein and with omega-3 essential fatty acids, which our body cannot produce by itself, but it's essential. So it's brilliant for for your mind, for your brain, for your memory, for your concentration levels, and all these things. And at the same time, it's fantastic when it comes to detoxifying our body from the dangerous metals. So, you know, by now that I do have my own brand, because it was very difficult for me to find proper vitamins out there. It was all filled with rubbish and chemicals, and it was terrible. So these are without rubbish, without chemicals. These are basically natural, and they are made with a highly exceptional quality ingredients. These are suitable for vegetarians and vegans indeed. So that's a natural vitamin D3. See this? Okay, that's natural zinc picolinate. And this is a natural organic chlorella. Okay. Sorry. So if you are on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, then you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications. And also, what else I was going to say, if you would like to buy my vitamins, and I highly suggest you, then you will see the link is in the description below. Just click on the name of this video and then it's going to expand and then you will see. Or you can simply go on Google and just type in Sasha Bonasin vitamins and my page is gonna come up that way as well. So now, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm going to talk about the very first day that you need to pay attention to. It's actually going to be on the 2nd of April. On the 2nd of April, you are going to wake up in the morning and something is going to be on your mind. And I told you this, the importance of this. On the 2nd of April, you are going to wake up in the morning and something is going to be on your mind. And what is going to be on your mind? It's pretty much so to do with an ongoing problem in your life. You almost like forgot about this problem. It's like blast from the past problem, baby. You almost forgot about this problem. So on the 2nd of April, you're going to wake up and the first thing that you're going to have on your mind is going to be that problem that you almost like kind of forgot about. And you're going to be surprised how positive you feel, how optimistic you feel, and how keen and eager you feel to attack that problem and to do something about it. You're really going to be like, oh my God, I forgot about this problem. And now the difference is that the month of April is going to bring already is you having a completely different approach to this problem. And this is going to be the absolutely mind-blowing sign for you to actually take this on. And this is so important for you to understand that that particular problem is actually going to be resolved within the next few days. And this problem was in your life for such a long time and you didn't know what to do. So now it's going to be resolved within the next few days and you will see exactly what I mean. The reason for this is when we sleep every single night, we dream, but we don't necessarily remember. But we remember the specific words that are the part of our guidance in order to work with something that is a really main priority in our lives at the moment, but it not may seem so. Okay, so this is why this is like such a sacred sign, because it's coming from a completely different dimension, my gorgeous Virgolini. So this is something that you're gonna need to do. Not only this is an important sign, but also this is your sign that you are going to come to the bottom of this particular problem. This problem was really affecting your confidence, but also at the same time this progress was affecting your this problem was affecting your progress in life, because you will realize, like, after that problem comes to an end, you know, after you realize what exactly do you need to do, you will just basically, you're gonna, you know, at the same time, you're gonna become aware of, like, oh my God, not at the same time, but it's gonna pass like about a few days after that moment in time. And there are so many possibilities that you're gonna realize in your life now suddenly you can do, but you're just gonna need a few days time in order to for things, you know, to sink in, and that in itself is going to help you quite a lot with your own reflection. It's just going to need to wait for that cooling off period of like a few days, and then, you know, things you are going to be able to see in a completely different light, and this in itself is going to make you aware of like a really kind of special and important possibilities that now you can kind of do that you couldn't kind of do before. Basically, what I was going to say now, basically, my gorgeous Virgolini, like this, what I was going to say is the second important date is going to be on the 3rd of April. But before I go there, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to show you what else am I recommending you. Absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful. Look at how beautiful this is. Botswana agate pendant. Botswana, here I come, baby. Look at how gorgeous this is. Absolutely beautiful. And you know what? This pendant is extremely powerful. As soon as you kind of hold this in your hands, you're already feeling this very, very specific vibration and very specific energy, which is rejuvenating you almost straight away. But at the same time, it's sharpening up your focus. It's like kind of a really, it's it's for your stamina, it's for vitality, it's for strength, it's for energy, it's for confidence. It helps you to express yourself with the people who are very difficult, but it also helps you to express yourself emotionally with people who don't allow you to do this. Sometimes people have a very strange and very stubborn energy, and that in itself, it's really like pretty much so like it affects us when we kind of talk about something really important. So this absolutely beautiful Botswana agate pendant, it's for stamina, vitality, strength, confidence, communication. It's helpful to bring information to the surface that's deeply rooted in our subconscious mind. So this unlocks the power of your subconscious mind. It unlocks the power of your third psychic eye. Do you know what that means? You become so wise, you become so deep, you become so clever, you become so perceptive, you read signs like a big mama, you know, you understand everything on a completely different level. Why? Because it unlocks the power of your subconscious mind, of your third psychic eye. Listen to me very carefully. There's centuries and centuries and centuries of knowledge in our subconscious mind. There is so much stored at the back of our subconscious mind, screaming to come out and to guide us, you know, with the best possible direction in life. It's going to come from you, from your own understanding. And even if sometimes we do things in life in a wrong way, if we do things and we are wrong, and as long as this comes from us, it doesn't matter. It's meant to happen like that. Perhaps, you know, we needed to go over and over and over something specific in order to understand and kind of and see some kind of lesson in it that we wouldn't normally see. And until we understand lessons in life, you know, what is life trying to teach us, then things are going to be repeating. And this in itself really kind of helps you to speed things up indeed. So this gorgeous Botswana agate pendant, I highly recommend you to wear my gorgeous Virgolini throughout April, May and June. And this comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. It's so powerful that, you know, almost immediately you feel like you want to talk, you want to express yourself. But it's not only about that, it's about having a courage to do things that you wouldn't normally do, but you know that you have to do them, type of thing. So it immediately is like kind of immediately brings that balance into your life. The second important date, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's going to be on the 3rd of April. Now the 3rd of April, it's like a basically, you know, you are going to make a very, very important decision here. I like this so much. You are going to make a really important decision here, my gorgeous Virgolini, on the 3rd of April. This decision is not only going to be like kind of so important when it comes to you to do, but also it's going to motivate others. It's going to motivate other people in your life who are important to you. And this in itself, it's really kind of a lot to do with you kind of you know, it's a lot to do with your skill. And it's a lot to do with you kind of having a rude awakening through this. And you know, when I say rude awakening through this in itself, it's going to be like kind of, I'm saying rude awakening only because it's not really a rude awakening, but what you're going to realize is that if you don't do this, there is a tower that is going to happen in your life, like a negative situation, very, very negative and unnecessary situation. So on one hand, you will know that if you don't do this, a very bad situation is going to happen to you, something negative. So it's just like a part of your natural progression in life. So you are going to prevent a dark tower to happen while you're doing this, and you are going to feel loved and supported by those people in your life. And that in itself, it's also going to mean to you so much, and it's going to kind of work really well when it comes to you being creative even more, even further, because it's going to reflect on your spiritual fulfillment. So don't be surprised when you start like kind of like thinking about things, spiritual things in life that you haven't done in absolute ages. How you want to do this again, you want to do that again. Most certainly, yes. This is a sign that that you've been through something so difficult. The last few days, the last few years have been very hard and very difficult for you. You are coming out of something really dark and negative and heavy. And now, my gorgeous Virgolini, this is after April, from April onwards, you know, there is so much that you're gonna look forward to. You actually have to look forward to. I like it. But the difference is that energy that was holding you down from like kind of understanding and realizing how powerful you are, especially when it comes to the progress in your life, now this is unlocked. You know, give a credit to yourself where the credit is due, and don't forget to reward yourself, my gorgeous Virgolini. Keep on rewarding yourself. Keep on doing things to yourself that makes you feel good, that makes you feel alive, no matter what they are. The 3rd of April, it's also like kind of like, you know, it's all about the end, you know, the end of a very difficult stage of your life. And at the same time, you know, just like basically, it's also marking the end of you having a fear of change and refusing to let go of something. Do you understand how big this is? You know, this is also marking the end of you having a fear of change and also like you refusing to let go of something. So that in itself, it's important, and it's going to be highlighted at a time where you are going to be thinking about certain people, how certain people have done something really crazy to themselves. And you're going to wonder, why did they do this to themselves? This is what's going to happen on the 3rd of April. So you're going to either look at the people, or you're going to hear about certain people, something that people have done to themselves, and you will fully understand that this is to do with like maybe their own distraction for some reason, you know, whatever. And you know, it's just going to make you realize how, you know, like sometimes, you know, we are like kind of so similar, but then we are all like kind of so different as well. But I'm talking about the understanding about something very, very specific here indeed. So some kind of distraction of others, it's also like kind of gonna, it couldn't have happened at a better time, because when it comes to you feeling still a little bit weak and a little bit nervous about making the necessary step in your life, this is just kind of gonna really bring that balance back when it comes to you standing firm on the ground, you know, and doing and knowing what exactly you're gonna do after this moment in time. The second important date, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's going to be on the 11th of April. Now, the 11th of April, you are gonna have such an interesting idea here, and this idea, it's like, oh my god, this idea that you are going to have, it's your sign that you are ready for something new. This idea that you are going to have, it's also your sign that you are ready for something new. Do you hear me? And that in itself, it's gonna make, you know how you're gonna know this? Because you're instantly going to feel confident, brave, passionate, excited. You're gonna feel this high energy, you're gonna feel adventurous, and that in itself, it's really kind of going to you know, gonna happen at a time where you are gonna realize, like, you know, that, you know, already something that you've been working on, it's becoming strong and powerful. Already you're going to realize here that there's some kind of solid foundation has been laid, and now, you know, that is going to mean to you so much, because you're going to realize, you know, there is so much that you can build upon now. And at around the same time, you are going to get an important news which is going to open your eyes even more, especially towards more possibilities when it comes to that particular idea. Like, oh my god, so by the end of that day, you know, by the end of the 11th of April, it's like gonna be big mama moment, you know. By the end of April, you are going to have an important news which is going to open your eyes even more, especially towards more possibilities when it comes to that particular idea at the beginning of at the 11th of April 2023. The 17th of April is the next day, which is going to be quite important here, and it's all about a beautiful, gorgeous and emotional experience you're going to have here. But this is so beautiful, because this beautiful, gorgeous, emotional experience is going to reflect on you in such a way where you're gonna understand exactly that you need to let go of damaging and negative thinking, and that in itself, it's really really going to make you aware of the fact that you have to be practical about how you're going to proceed. But this in itself, it's a lot going to be reflecting on what exactly you're going to be thinking and what exactly is going to be on your mind on that particular day. You're already going to start thinking in a different way, which is completely brilliant, because you're also going to avoid the illusion of being trapped, and that in itself is going to make you aware of your responsibility. Some kind of you need to accept some kind of responsibility for your situation, and then make choices that support your path to happiness. And this is so important, because at the same time, this is going to, allow you to do exactly what you want to do. It's going to allow you to do what you love. And what is also like kind of going to be on your mind in between the actual 17th of April and the end of that particular month, you are really going to be able to do what you love. But what you will not know is that you are going to get recognized for this like so quick, so soon. So you put as much energy as you possibly can, and this is going to be a highlighted stage and the highlighted period in between the 17th of April and the end of that month. It's not only about you doing something that you love, but it's also you understanding exactly what am I talking about, and understanding exactly to put as much as you can in, as much as you can, because this in itself is going to bring you absolutely huge, a massive, a mind-blowing recognition. You're going to recognize, on a very high level, and you're going to recognize for what you need to get recognized in order to have one of the biggest breakthroughs of your lives, my gorgeous Virgolini. And even if you're by yourself in between the 17th of April and the end of that month, even if you're at home by yourself and nobody sees you, it doesn't matter, my darling. Maybe you're writing a book, so you're writing a book at home, so do as much as you can, put as much as you can towards that book, put as much as you can, try this and try that, and try to break certain barriers that are holding you down from expanding yourself further through your own power, through your own passion, whatever. So it doesn't matter if you're seen by the people in between the 17th of April and the end of that month, or if you're not seen by the people, it doesn't matter. As long as you do work on something that you really, really love, and as long as you put as much as you can towards it, and that in itself is going to reward you, my gorgeous Virgolini, like never ever before. What else you need to understand is that basically you are going to need to work on some kind of addiction and unhealthy habit. Please, you need to work on this. You need to get rid of this. You need to do something about it. And I know it's not easy to get rid of it immediately, but as long as you kind of start doing something about it, the power of April and onwards is that you're gonna be so much stronger when it comes to you deciding to kind of like move on, from certain addiction or an unhealthy habit. You're going to have a power to deal with this, if you know what I mean. And also, my gorgeous Virgolini, another thing I was going to recommend you is like, oh my God, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And this is called solar quartz. And this solar quartz, it's very powerful, because it enhances energy, it brings emotional strength and uplift with great power. It improves the connection to spirit. So anything that improves connection to spirit at a time when there is so much happening in our lives, at the time when we need to make important decisions, at the time when we need to prove our point, at the time when we are working on important things in life, this is only kind of bringing added benefit, because at the time when we feel a little bit sensitive, then that can affect us a little bit when it comes to acting in a certain way. So this crystal helps us a lot to stay true to ourselves on our path, on our spiritual journey. By staying true to ourselves, we just really kind of speed things up in our lives, and we do get like a lot of karmic rewards as well. So this gorgeous pendant is called solar quartz, and the link to buy this is again in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel, my gorgeous Virgolini. So thank you very much for that. The last important date is going to be on the 26th of April. Now, on the 26th of April, you are going to feel a little bit obstructed, a little bit restricted. The reason why you're going to feel a little bit obstructed and a little bit restricted, it's only because you are going to be distracted by something new. But that what you're going to be distracted about, it's a little bastard. What you're going to be distracted about, it's like a temptation. No, baby, no. You know, so what you're going to be distracted about, it's only a temptation, some kind of temptation here. So this is what I need you to understand on the 26th of April. You need to be strong. You need to be strong. Okay, so it's all up. You're going to be obstructed and you're going to be restricted because you're going to be distracted by some kind of like by something new. And this is just something that it's really kind of, it's just a temptation, it's impractical, you would not be able to kind of commit to this whatsoever anyway. So, and that in itself, it's really something that you need to avoid, because if you go for it, it's really going to affect your financial stability in a bad way. And if you ignore this and you know that this is just a distraction, it's going to seem too good to be true anyway. If you, when you understand that this is just a distraction, you just kind of ignore this and carry on working on what you're working on. I forgot to say that on the 26th of April, you are going to be actually doing something important. You're going to be working on something important, but you're going to be juggling quite a few things, you know, at the same time, and this is going to affect you a little bit, make you feel a little bit stressed maybe. So you must not allow this to take the better of you, my gorgeous Virgolini. So this is why this is so important, you know, to actually ignore this. By ignoring this is going to be the best thing when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your financial stabilities. And on top of that, you are very, very close, and just not that long after that moment in time, within the next couple of days, you're going to realize that you are very close to transforming one particular goal into reality. And this is something that you must focus on indeed. So now, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationship. Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. What is going to happen to those of you in relationships, my gorgeous Virgolini, and this is for the month of April. So what is going to happen to those of you in relationships for the month of April? For the month of April, those of you in relationship, I know that the month of April is good, my babies, when it comes to those of you in relationships, because now suddenly, just out of the blue, like, I don't know, you have both been like maybe having some kind of a, you have both, of course, that this just flicked over. You both have been kind of going through some kind of winter dream, you know, winter sleeping, you know, like a bear sleeping throughout the winter, and then in the spring the bear is going to wake up. Hello the world, hello my darling, you know, type of thing. So you like kind of like, why am I saying this? Is because there is an important, like absolutely mind-blowingly important plan that was put on hold, and you both just couldn't have been happy, like how could you would normally be, because this means to you so much, and this happened within the last few years. Actually, an important plan was put on hold, not because you did something wrong, not because your partner did something wrong, but there was a lot coming on from the outside. Some kind of outside influences were playing a really big role when it comes to you putting important plans on hold, and you were ignoring this and ignoring this and ignoring this, but slowly but surely this was making both of you feel really unhappy because you couldn't do what you wanted to do. So it did put you in a little bit of like a stationary position when it comes to you as a couple. It didn't affect you being a couple or anything like that. It didn't affect you being a couple. It didn't affect your love life or your emotions or anything like that. No, baby, no. But it just affect your happiness in general, because you just felt like, oh my God, it's like a big waiting game when you can actually do something, when you can do this. Do you understand what I mean? So this plan is so big, and this plan is like connected to your home, to where you live, it's connected to making and doing a big change, that it's gonna make you both so much happier. It's gonna improve your quality of life. And now this is brilliant because you're both gonna be like kind of reawakened from the beginning of this month. So this is what's important. Very important news that you're gonna have within the first 7 days of April. It's gonna open your eyes, and it's open your partner's eyes, and it's gonna like give you some kind of a sense of urgency to carry on with that plan. That sense of urgency, it's gonna really pretty much so gonna be highlighted only because you are gonna hear something that you're not necessarily going to like, but it's again nothing to do with you, it's to do with the outside world. And then that in itself, it's really gonna be that last little push that you need at this stage in your life in order to understand that if you don't carry on with this particular plan, what are you waiting for? This is important. Yes, you are going to be facing certain challenges, you know what I mean, throughout, but you will see that now this in itself, it's really kind of going to surprise you a little bit, that information, that news that you are going to have. But the reason why you're going to feel surprised is, normally this would put you off, but now you're going to feel so adamant and so keen to actually go for it. This is brilliant. So you're going to become absolutely super confident about this success, because this is going to make you and your life so much happier. Listen, it's for the couples, and it's to do with what you wanted to do for such a long time, because your life, it's not going to be complete until you do this. This is to do with a very, very kind of massive destination in your life. This is to do with lots of changes, but also like getting to the really big destination in your life on your spiritual journey. So of course that this is going to be important, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. So this is going to be brilliant. Not only you're going to become confident about that success, you know, but also, my God. Not only you're going to become so confident about this success, but at the same time, oh my goodness, yeah, not only you're going to become so confident about this success, but at the same time, my gorgeous Virgolini, you know, look, at the same time, this is actually going to work out really brilliantly. There you go, like, oh my Lord. Not only you're going to become so confident about this working out really brilliantly, but very soon after that moment in time, there is going to be such an important sign, and you're both going to know, and you will understand that now it's time, like, oh my God, to absolutely 1,000,000% go for it, because that particular sign that you are going to have, it's also bringing you new opportunities and new possibilities and new realizations, you know, the bright prospects you're going to become aware of, which are going to shine very, very bright indeed. So now, my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just going to shuffle this tarot cards, and I'm going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Virgolini. Let's see what is going to happen to those of you who are single and ready to mingle. I know that this is going to be the time where you are really going to start coming out of yourself, my gorgeous Virgolini. Now you're going to start becoming pretty much so ready to have some fun. This is exactly how you're going to feel from the beginning of this month. You're going to feel cheeky, you're going to feel naughty, you're going to feel mischievous, you're going to feel like you want to try this, you want to try that, you're going to feel like you want to go there, you want to go there. You know, just go for it. You're really going to surprise yourself how you're going to feel so kind of like ready to kind of go out there and have some fun. And at the same time, you see this, the Magician. This is very important because there is somebody very significant who is actually about to enter your life this month. This is not going to be the love of your life, but that particular person who is going to enter your life, first of all, you're going to like, first of all, you're going to fancy, first of all, you're going to like, oh my God, be so obsessed with that person, but not only because of the way they're going to look, but what they're going to talk, what they're going to say, how going to express themselves. And there is something very specific that you're going to be sharing as well in your past, something very, very specific, which is going to bring you closer immediately without you even realizing, some kind of experience that you're sharing from a long time ago. You're really going to like this person. You're really going to fancy this person. This person is going to inspire you like there is no tomorrow. Okay? But then very soon, like, very soon you will realize that this is not the right person for you, because maybe that person will already be with someone, or something you're gonna hear very soon and very quickly, and you will know that this is not the right person for you. But without you even realizing, this person just played such a mind-blowing role in your life. Why? Because now this person touched your spirit and soul to the places where they haven't been touched for a long time. And just by you talking to this person, you will miss how things used to be. You're going to start missing fun. You're going to start missing people in your life. So yes, that person is playing a really big role when it comes to you finally understanding that you are ready to let someone into your life. But you needed to wait for this moment in time. So not only like when it comes to April, there's so many things that are going to rebalance themselves, just by themselves, literally, because it's that time of the year. But also now you're stepping into a brand new dimension when it comes to very, very interesting people coming into your life. Indeed. And this in itself, it's gonna be huge. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.